Um, I know I got a lot of videos going on, but I was just reading some manga, and I came across a manga where yeah, like I was just reading some random mangas and came across one where basically well, a succubus fell in love or claimed. Basically, the what if could be called what if Izuku was a god and claimed by a succubus? Basically, name of the manga I really do not know. I just clicked on it because I wanted to. So yeah. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay. Okay, let's start off. With in Japan. A big ass meteor hit and boom, and then right in the center, right in this in the you know it landed Japan basically, destroying buildings and everything. Yeah, destroying buildings and everything. But yeah, anyways, fucking, anyways. Yeah. Everybody rushes over there to see a crater. As they see the crater cracking open, let's say they see an arm pop out. As they aim their guns, like, what the hell? As the government says, wait, I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when to fire. The beam comes out as he turns around and says, "This must be Earth." Saying this is he says, looking at the weapons that the guards are holding, he walks closer to him, saying, he walks closer to them, or in this one, yeah, he walks closer to him, saying, this a weapon. We learned this weapon billions of years ago. You're just not learning it, humans. Chuckling, saying, as the government says, "What the hell do you want with us? And what do you want with our planet?" As he says, "I don't want anything with you. I just came out here to do some work that I was ordered to by superiors of mine. As they say, state your name." As he says, it's really not fun being bossed around by someone weaker than you. Saying, "I don't have to give you any of my information." Walking off. As he says, "Stop, we'll fire." As Izuku stops, saying, "As if those bullets can hurt me." Walking on as the governor says, "Fire." As Izuku sighs. As soon as he hears the first shot, he he stops time, basically going back and throwing the bullets at them with all his force. He undoes times, and everybody's dead besides the government. As he says, "You see, I told you those bullets won't affect me." As he says, now, "I only came down here to kill someone. If you interfere, you'll be next." Time skip. Izuku has been in Japan for 1 week and still hasn't found the person he's supposed to kill. Or it's gonna be one of the what if Izuku was the title I had to rename? I'm gonna rename it. It's gonna be what if Izuku was a god, and what if he was claimed by the succubus queen, basically. So yeah, just changing a little bit to it. Anyways, Izuku, he's walking around as he goes into the place where he was living, or yeah, just for now. And don't like Izuku. He knows every language, he knows all of that. He knows how the humans live, how they talk, what they do, all of that, dailies, everything. Cause he's basically a god. So yeah. Anyways, as he's sitting there in his room, he says, where the hell is she? He says, where the hell is he? He shouldn't be this hard to track down. Saying, where the hell are you, Kratos? You betrayed Mount Olympus and now I'm coming for you. Older brother. Yes, sir. As Izuku says, I'll find you and kill you. You're the one who killed mother and father. Saying he didn't even deserve it. As a whooshing sound comes, and as he looks behind him, see someone with horns. As she says, oh my god. Well, she's like, she's shocked. As she sensed power, but she didn't know it was a god. As, she walks up to Izuku, as he says, kneel before your god. Well, he says kneel before your god. You don't walk up to him. Oh, lowercase G-O-D, by the way. You gotta respect God for though. But yeah, he says kneel before me. As she walks to him and sits on his lap. As he's about to kill her. Until she says, you're mine now. Putting a lock on his neck. Or putting a collar on his neck. Basically only being able to do what she wants him to do. As she chuckles and says, I feel like that was a little bit way too fast. Wait a minute. That was too fast. You see how that? Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. He says, remove this collar off of me before I shove it down your throat. As she says, go ahead and try. As Izuku chuckles, saying, how dare you disrespect me? Grabbing the collar and pulling with just brute force, but it doesn't budge. Instead, it shocks Izuku with a painful shock as he falls down on the ground, or he lays back on the bed. As she says, see, I told you. Try to take that necklace off and it won't be so good for you. If you manage to take it off, then well, that's good for you. But no god or deity has ever done that before. As Izuku he says, what the hell have you done to me? Saying I won't be your slave at all. I know exactly who you are. Looking at her in her eyes, and she says, good. You know what I want, and you won't bother giving it to me, right? I mean, you are a god after all, so you should be pretty good. Especially in bed, as Izuku chuckles, saying, Izuku chuckles about this, as he says, you forgot one power of us gods. As he says, we're too smart for you humans and succubus about to swinging on, basically trying to knock her head off. He gets electrocuted again, as he says, you really aren't that smart, Izuku. I thought you had a super intelligence or something. Trying to hurt me puts even more pain on you, Izuku. And she says, come on. She says, why are you even on Earth anyway? You see, I would have never claimed you or found you if you would have never been on Earth. It would have been a hard time for me coming to Mount Olympus, knowing succubus aren't allowed there after the war. But you just made it too easy, looking at Izuku and getting closer to his face, kissing him. As he says, unhand me. He says, unhand me. As Izuku stops trying eventually and says, he says, after I kill my brother Kratos, you'll be next. And I'll take off this savage, he says, and I'll take off this savage collar and I'll shove it down your throat. As she says, she says, I really don't want to say this at all. Oh man, damn. No homo. She says, I'm not gonna make the voice, but she says, oh my god, Izuku, you're making me wet. As she says, just talking so violently as she leans back down, kissing Izuku. But this time with more force and more tongue. Izuku jolts up, knocking her off of him, but then immediately being shocked right after. What the hell? Izuku, now, didn't I tell you if you hurt me, the collar would just shock you. But then, if you hurt me, then I can shock you. As she says, but I don't think I want to do that. And she says, but I don't think I want to do that. I'll be back. Time skip. A little while later, the succubus queen has come back to mate with Izuku. Seeing he's not there, she gets furious, sending out her minions to find him and tracking him. Well, yeah, and sending out her minions to find him, and him or with her going to her tracker and tracking Izuku. Izuku says, Izuku says, huh? And she says, this collar is fucking annoying. Trying to rip it off again without his force, but again getting shocked, and this time passing out. Time skip, Izuku wakes up, sad to see he's chained up and stripped to his underwear, or no, stripped to his pants. As stripped to his pants. He looks around, wondering where the hell is he. Seeing he's strapped down with the same material the collar has. Getting angry, he tries to rip them off, but nothing happened as a big shock of electrocution. A big voltage of electrocution comes and, shocks this boy. Shocks the shit out of him. As he screams in pain, saying, Zeus, help me, channeling to his mind, but singing nothing is working. As he says, they must think I'm dead then. If I can't channel to them, I'm supposed to channel to them every day. They might think Kratos killed me. As Izuku says, that's bad. I need to find a way to get the hell out of here. As he hears the door whip open, he looks up, seeing the female succubus, saying, it's her again, I might as well just... He says it's her again. I mean, they think I'm dead, so what's the point in trying to escape? As she sits there, or she sits on Izuku, saying, but my baby Izuku, why did you run away from me? Kissing him, but she's shocked that he kisses back. As she says, as a reward, she goes and she unlocks one of the arm things that's holding Izuku down. Izuku's freely to move his right arm as she says, well, so what are you gonna do with that arm, Izuku? And if you don't know what Izuku is the god of, let's say he's the god of power. Kratos is the god of war. Zeus is the god of the gods. Basically, Athena. I think Athena's the god of beauty. What's that? The death dude. I forgot the death dude. Hades, god of death, and it was one more. Artementis. I think Artementis. I think he was a god of archery or some shit. I don't fucking know, or bowing or hunting or something. I don't know, but I know he had a bow. Yeah. So she says, Izuku, what are you the god of? As she says, you're the weakest, aren't you? As Izuku says, that's the opposite. I'm the strongest god there is. As she says, ooh. She says, ooh, now you make me trip. As Izuku grabs her by her throat, pulling her down to him and kissing her. As she says, so rough and violent, I love it. As a reward, she unlocks the other hand as Izuku violently kisses her, shoving his tongue down her throat. As she loves this, basically. Because she's a succubus and she needs this, basically. She needs a bust. She needs something to go bust in that pussy to get energy, basically. But anyways, yeah. Basically, she needs a nut to get energy, basically. As she says, oh, man, I'm pretty sleepy. Getting off Izuku, as Izuku says, what the hell, where are you going? As she says, to get energy. Going, as she says, remembering that succubus, you need nut to get energy. He says, just get it from me. As, that piqued their interest real quick. She says, what? Oh no, she says, no. She says, oh my, Izuku, you have grown quite fond of me, haven't you? As reward, she all of his feet, both of his feet, I mean. And he says, it feels good to be free. Now, as she looks at her, or now, looking at, or let's say, oh, I gotta come with this. Let's say that, Izuku doesn't know this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this now. She is related to one of the gods, making her a demigod, making her half god, half succubus, making one of the gods her relative. Who is it though? We don't know yet. Anyways, he stops as he's in the middle of kissing her. And she says, what's wrong? You have God power. I can sense it. You're related to us, aren't you? She says, yeah, but I was outcast long ago. Probably way before you were born anyway. Izuku really doesn't care about this as he continues kissing her and groping her and sliding off her pants. Or, let me see. Oh yeah, that's what Izuku looks like in the right. He do look clean, I can't lie, boy. But yeah, my bad. Let me fucking focus. Anyways, her eyes turn red. As, her eyes turn red. Izuku He chuckles, saying, I know exactly who's your relatives. As he says, those fiery eyes. It's Haiti, isn't it? Haiti. He says, he says, sorry, Haiti. I'm sorry, Haiti. He says, it's Hades, isn't it? As she bites his lip, saying, bingo. Izuku's, they conversate while kissing and groping, and eventually get to the bed, saying, so your brother's Hades, and he banned you from hell, but you weren't allowed to get from hell, so you were turned into a succubus as punishment, and made to have God have demon, or have God have succubus, and now you're a demigod. And she says, you listen quite well, Izuku, but there's no need to be a parent and repeat it. As Izuku chuckles, saying, you have quite the mouth on you, kissing her and biting her tongue, or biting her lip, while he takes her shirt off. And things get freaky. Damn, that was fucking. Damn. She was fucking. Whew. Damn. Anyways, Izuku, Izuku says that, or he says, she's laying in the bed with, did I give her a name yet? I didn't. Oh, Apollo was a god too. Oh, he was that. I can't do all this Greek. I can't do all this Greek mythology shit. That shit is fucking hard to keep up with. Damn. Anyways, I'm gonna just give her. I'm gonna look up a name real quick because I don't know one. Right. Izuku says, by the way, I never got your name. As she rolls over and hugs Izuku's arm, saying, Freya is my name. As she said, as he says, okay, Freya. She says, from now on, Izuku, you belong to me and only me. As, Izuku, he says, sure. As he says, sure, as the collar shocks him and saying, I need a actual phrase, a polite one, a respectful one from your mother. As Izuku, he thinks about his dead mother, but doesn't think anything, but drops it. As he says, fine, what do you want me to say? From now on, call me Freya, Mother Freya. As Izuku says, can I just call you Freya? As she says, fine. As she says, okay, I promise, Freya, that you belong to me, or that I belong to you. As she says, conquering a god is easy, especially if you have the body. Izuku, let's time skip a month. Freya has given birth to who fucking knows how many kids. Let's say she given birth to 7 kids, and they all follow behind their father's footsteps. As Izuku, he's building an army of children. Freya doesn't want her kids to go to war, but Izuku knows that he cannot defeat Kratos by himself, as Kratos was stronger than him. And since he was an outcast, he got more power. from the witches and the ghouls and shit like that, and giants, and the ogres and all that shit. Because they basically gave him power since he was a god. What the fuck you talking about? Anyways, Izuku, Izuku, he says, or no, she doesn't have 7 kids. Fuck, that's a lot. Damn. Let's say she has 2 kids. As, she'll end that with a lot more. Just wait. Anyways, Izuku says, thinking about Freya. She walks into the room saying, Izuku, as she says, yeah, what is it, Freya? Come here, as Izuku, he follows over there, as he inspects her, saying, or she inspects him, saying, take off your shirt. As she says, if you want, as she says, no, take off your shirt, Izuku, I want to see something. As he says, well, what do you want to see? As the collar shocks, as she says, take off your shirt. Izuku takes off his shirt, as she says, he turns around, saying there's nothing to see, spinning around, as she goes to his back, saying, what are these? Basically, touching scars on his back that look like they were wings. As Izuku gets irritated and says nothing, as the color shocks, as she says, you're lying, Izuku. Only demons have wings. As it comes to the point that Izuku isn't a regular god. He's the leader of hell. As she says, or Izuku says, or she says, those wings, as she says, or yeah, she doesn't know he's the leader of hell yet, but she knows that he's a demon. And she says, show your wings to me, Izuku, I want to see how beautiful they are. As Izuku's kind of hesitant, as the color shocks him, as he says, damn it, what are you trying to find out? As she says, nothing, I just want to see your wings, Izuku. As he says, what made you come expect me? As she says, well, you see, our daughter just had, all of a sudden, wings popped to her fucking back, Izuku, and I know for a fact that I don't have wings, raising my voice. As Izuku, so he says, so, if you're not a god, and you're a demon, who the hell are you? As Izuku scratches the back of his head, revealing his wings, as her heart drops, and at the same time it rises. Don't ask me how that's supposed to happen. But anyways, yeah, her heart sinks at the same time. It fills with joy. As she tamed the Demon King, the true Demon King, not her brother. The legend who took over hell for a millennia, but then he got boring, so he went back to his he went back to hell, as she says, "Oh my God, you're him. I know you look familiar. Our daughter has the same wings as you, Izuku." As she says, our son, on the other hand, is a succubus like me, and he says he's a succubus like me, and a half god or half demon, true demon. What the hell, Izuku? As she looked at him, as Izuku was staring into her eyes, as she's not scared by this, as she ordered the collar to shock him, as Izuku gets shocked, as it doesn't affect him this time. As she says, "I knew this collar wasn't doing anything to you, Izuku." As Izuku chuckles, saying, "Well, I am the true god, so a succubus collar wouldn't do anything." As she says, "So all those times you could have just broken it out, but you were faking it, weren't you?" Yeah, I was. I just like being, well, he says, let's just say I like being controlled around instead of me doing the controlling. It's way more fun this way, as she summons to handcuffs around Izuku, as Izuku gets handcuffs behind his back, as succubus handcuffs behind my back, as Izuku, pins him to the wall, basically, without using his arms. He still has his wings out, as, they started making out, as she says, "Wait, Izuku." She says, "Wait, Izuku. Our daughter's coming." As Izuku keeps kissing her, and eventually biting off to her bra, as the door barges open the door barges open, as we see a little girl saying, "Mother and Father, what are you doing still laying down in bed? Get up, you have to train me, Father." As Izuku says, "Not today." She says, "Not today. Go back to your little brother and help him with his training. He needs you. You know you're superior to him." He says, "You know you're superior to him. So help him. And don't outcast him." She says, "Yes, Father," and bows in front of him, As she leaves and closes the door, Izuku breaks the handcuffs, pinning, Izuku breaks the handcuffs, pinning Freya down. She says, "Izuku, wait a minute. I want to learn more about you and where you actually came from. Like, who's your father or your mother?" As Izuku says, "And Kratos, is he your brother? Is he your true brother?" As Izuku says, "That's a lot of questions. First of all, my mother," or he says, "No, let's start with my father first. My father is Zeus." As she says, "What?" As he says, "My mother, let's just say he knocked up a true demon, and she fucked around and had me, the first ever god-demon hybrid. So after I was born, I guess my mother decided to raise me as that bastard her father left me. And the true reason I'm here for Kratos is not to kill him. It's actually to take him and show him his true identity." As she says, "What's his true identity?" Kratos is, he still hasn't unlocked a lot of his power. Unlocking that power will unlock his magical side and basically letting his marks glow and increasing his strength times 3 or tenfold. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I know that. Anyways, I wanted to get him to unlock his strength. I was going to help him. And then I was going to kill Zeus and he could take over. But you gave me the picture as he chuckles and kisses her, saying it changed everything. As she says, I did. As he says, yeah, at first I was gonna go back down to hell, grab an army, and just come back up to kill Zeus. But then I decided to get. She says, she pauses and says, wait, is Kratos your brother? As she says, yeah, he doesn't know it though. He thinks that he's one of Zeus's children. Or she says, that's cruel. Yeah, I know. All Zeus does is just. He says all Zeus does. He says all Zeus does is just take you and act like you're his child, even when you really aren't, and he just manipulates you. And she says that's cruel. So Kratos is that way, and he thinks I'm his enemy because of Zeus, and he also wants to kill Zeus, but doesn't have the power. He had a wife and child, but his wife died, and now he lives somewhere in the fucking Arctic, on the mountains, with his son. Do you know his son's name? No. If I knew it, I would say that. As the caller shocks him, we're not affecting Izuku. She says, Izuku, you should still be saying Izuku. Even though I know your true identity, still be respectful to your mother. As he chuckles, saying, yeah, I guess, kissing her. And yeah. Time skip, they talk a lot and find out that, they talk a lot, and Izuku tells her about his past, even more his mother, how she taught him to never hold back and never show fear. That's why Izuku wasn't scared when she found her and kept shocking him and never show pain. As she says, and never ever give away my true form. But our daughter just decided to give that up, showing her wings. As she says, yeah, I know that. I thought demons was red, but they're white. As she says, yeah, mine's a mix of red blood and white as snow. They're white as snow at the same time. As she says, yeah, that's awesome. She says, yeah, that's awesome. Kissing him, saying, but how about we finish where we started? Grabbing Izuku's shirt and pulling him down to kiss him. And that's when it ended off with Izuku. What if God Izuku was claimed by the Queen Succubus? Or was claimed by a succubus, yeah. Or was claimed by the succubus queen.